Hello, it has been a very long time. I apologize for the lighting where I'm at. I'm actually in the cabin right now. I just don't have the willpower to be filming in my aunt's basement. So this is going to be the setup for this video. As you can see by my face in the title of this video, it has been a rough one. I am not going to do like a super duper intro right now. I just need to get ready to go into town. But it has been like 4 months, almost 5 months since I've uploaded a video, and I wanted to catch you guys up on some things, why I haven't been uploading, and the craziness that has been my life the last couple of months. Of course, I'm going to do my little disclaimer because there are trolls and haters on the internet. If you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is definitely not the place for you. I'm a no filter bitch and I have no idea what's going to come out of this potty mouth, so keep that in mind while you are watching. Now let's get right into this basically chatty get ready with me. That's what it is. My husband and I are in the midst of building our house. I have shared a lot of things on this channel, like a model house that we were actually going to go with, and plans just drastically changed from there because of COVID and the skyrocketing prices of everything. We decided not to go with the modular home, and we are doing our own self-build actually. So basically the family, my husband's family, is helping us build this home. Well, not even helping us, they're basically building it for us. The cement was poured, I believe, June-ish, and we started digging in May, like the foundation. Then we got the cement poured, I believe, in the beginning of June. After that, we had the same people who poured our cement, or who like foresaw the cement pouring, do the brick. So right now this is called the basement home, and it looks like a basement, it functions like a basement, and you basically build a little basement and you put a roof on it. And until you are ready to build the upper level, that's just how you live inside of it. It's a full functioning home. It looks just like any other home when you go inside. There's drywall, the kitchen, everything. It's a full home, but in the future, it will eventually become a basement. Hopefully, I am making sense. If you are somebody who lives in bumfuck nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, or you live in the country, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you probably see houses that are somewhat almost like hobbit houses. They're underground partially, and then you see a roof sticking out of it. So that's basically what our house is going to look like for a couple of years until we are ready to build the upper level. After they poured the cement, it was now our turn to really get in there and start building the home. We started on the trusses, which is like where the roofing goes. You get those trusses up and you start getting ready for the roofing. What my husband did was hire the Amish, because the Amish actually did our aunt's house as well. So we were like, you know what? We're just going to let the Amish do our roofing for us. And they did. And oh my God, you guys, if you guys have Amish living near you, I definitely recommend looking into some of the things that they do, like what they build and what they are professionals in, because not only will they get it done beautifully, but they are so fucking fast. They finished our roof in a day, and it is a 1,900 square foot home. And I was just so amazed at how fast they worked. And it was only 2 men, okay? 2 guys doing a 1,900 square foot home in one day. So it was really amazing to go there one day, not see the roof, and then go there the next, and the roof was basically there. It was done. After the roof was put in, that is when everyone started the framework. Now the framework is what you see behind the drywall, you know, the slabs of wood that go up and down, and basically it frames like where your rooms are gonna go, where your bathrooms are gonna go, all that good stuff. And so we started doing that, and that is actually almost finished, and that is basically what takes the longest. That and like the electrical and the plumbing, all the like little tiny stuff. My husband suspects and estimates that we will be in our new home by December. And I'm so fucking excited about that, because it's been really nice that my father-in-law has let us live in his cabin for as long as we have, but it's just really hard living with other people who don't have like the same routine or like the same type of living style that you do. My father-in-law does have a pup. He is rambunctious. He's crazy. And I mean, if I just tell you guys that he's a boxer, then that should really explain a lot if you're familiar with like dogs and dog breeds. Boxers can be really cuckoo sometimes, and the cats just really don't like him because all he wants to do is play with them, and they're just kind of like, oh, fuck off. You know how cats are. We've lived here for like a year and some change now, and so everyone is just basically ready to have their own space, get back into their own routine. And I'm just so thankful for my husband's family for helping us do this. If you think about it and you think about like your family, how many people can you say would honestly sit there and build you a home without like any extra charge, and just out of the kindness of their hearts, like help you build a full-blown house. So anyways, right now they are finishing up the vent work. My husband and I actually have to go to Lowe's, which is why I'm getting ready, because we need to get some more electrical stuff that I guess we didn't have enough of. So that's what we're going to do today, and that is why I am getting ready. Let's get into the other part of the craziness that is or has been my life. My face is a little rough, but it has gotten much better than the last couple of months because my husband and I are finally pregnant. It is so crazy to say that on camera, and it's so crazy to even say it out loud. My husband and I actually found out in July that we were expecting, and it has just been, it's been crazy. We were actually starting to do the testing for infertility, like to see if there was any kind of issues going into getting pregnant between my husband and I, because we had been trying for like a year with no luck. But a lot of people say that once you get off of birth control, you need that like year-long, wait before your body can get back to like normal functioning hormonal levels and all that, especially if you've been on birth control for a really long time. I had been on birth control for like the last, I don't even know, 12 years. So it has been a really, really amazing, rough, miserable journey of being pregnant. That is why I'm out of breath. That is why I look the way I do with, some pimpies and some discoloration and just a lot of weird face stuff going on. I will say the one amazing thing that has come out of this, of me being pregnant with all the hormonal changes and stuff, is the hair growth. As you can see, I am not as like sparse haired as I used to be. This one needs a little bit more work, but right here, like, look at my baby hairs. They are just growing like crazy. If you have been pregnant before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is my husband and I's first and probably, you guys, only child. I don't know why nobody talks about this, you guys. So I'm going to go on a rant of just being pregnant and how miserable it is. But first, let me state that my husband and I are absolutely ecstatic. We are fucking excited. We are just... I was speechless when I found out that I was finally pregnant. I am absolutely terrified, but I'm also just extremely happy. So let me just say that, okay? Being able to become pregnant and carry a child is a blessing in itself, and it's amazing and all that good stuff. But I need to talk about some of the stuff, and this is where I'm going to go into a rant about things that people don't talk about. And I don't know why. Maybe it's taboo. Maybe people just don't want to scare other people from becoming pregnant. But there are so many things that no one fucking told me. No one even mentioned about when you are pregnant. And I think it comes with the whole social media factor. Everyone glorifies everything. It's just like, like the Kardashians and stuff, and all that other stuff has just polluted social media and the internet into thinking that everything has to be glamorous, everything has to be rainbows and unicorns, including pregnancy. And let me just say, you guys, it is fucking miserable. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe I got the shit end of the stick of like the pregnancy symptoms. I don't really care. It's just not all rainbows and butterflies and unicorns like everyone makes it out to be. And that's really pissed me off, being pregnant and actually going through the symptoms and the motions and everything else that comes with being pregnant. It has really irked me to go back and see some of the people who have been pregnant and not mention all the hardships that come with actually carrying a fucking human being inside of you. Like, I don't know why more people don't talk about it, because I feel like women need to be aware of the things that it does, not only to your body, but your mind as well. So let me first start off with My husband and I found out that I was pregnant around 4.5 weeks. And I know some people are probably like, 4.5 weeks? What? That's around the time where, you know, your next period is about to come. If you are a regular person, 28-day cycle, which I was. And that is when I just kind of felt a little funky. My husband and I had already been taking like the monthly pregnancy tests and everything. And let me share with you guys, like, the funny thing that happened with the pregnancy test. So normally when my husband and I take showers, like when it's time to take a shower, we usually take our showers around like 7:30, between 7:30 and 9 o'clock. Let's just say that. And a lot of the time we like to go down together, and then someone goes into the shower first, and the other person, whoever is outside of the shower, will like brush their teeth, get ready to get into the shower. That way we don't have to turn the water off and it's already heated. Like we don't have to wait for it to heat up. So my husband gets out of the shower and then I go into the shower. So we were both actually turning on the water and he was brushing his teeth, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna take a pregnancy test because I am about to start my period, and that's just what I was doing. Like when you are trying to have a kid, you just get really excited for every pregnancy test, and that's why it usually leads in disappointment, because you get a negative and you're just like, oh, okay, month and month again we're getting negatives, nothing's happening, like what the hell. So I had this habit of just taking the pregnancy test while it was loading, or while the strip was getting, you know, saturated and you're waiting for the lines. I just had a habit of putting it into the trash can, or like next to the trash can, or on top of the trash can, because when you have negative after negative, you're just kind of like expecting it to be negative. I was sitting there in front of the mirror and I think I was getting ready to maybe like brush my teeth or something. And I was just about to get into the shower and my husband's like, hey, is there supposed to be like 2 lines on there? And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, don't fuck with me. And so I went over there and I looked and I was like, no, that's not a line. It's just my eyes are playing tricks on me. So when I looked at it, sure enough, there is a very, very faint line. I'm going to state, there are people out there who have been trying for years and years on end. I understand that. I understand my journey was not as long as some people, but whether it's a year or 10 years, waiting to become pregnant is a struggle. It's miserable. It's depressing. It fills your head with negativity. I just want to state that everyone's journey is different and I'm only sharing mine. Even my husband was like kind of in denial because, again, time and time again, negative test. Then it hit me all of a sudden. I was like, oh my God, we're fucking pregnant. He was just like looking at me like, why am I so excited? And I was like, we're fucking like, do you understand what 2 lines mean? And he's like, I mean, yeah, but this isn't necessarily the pregnancy test that I was hoping we would use. And I was like, what do you mean? And it was one of those bulk pregnancy tests that you can actually buy on Amazon, and you can get like 20 or 30 of them. And because I was testing every single month, you don't want to go out and buy the digital one, because one digital test or 2 digital tests cost like anywhere from $12 to $15. So I was just using those little test strips because they're a lot more cost efficient when you are testing for ovulation and all that good stuff. So my husband was not as excited during that first initial line, like second line, because there wasn't a digital pregnancy test that actually said pregnant on it. So he was excited, but he's like, I don't want to get too excited, because if it's not an actual positive, then, you know, he just got his heart broken again. This was like at 9 o'clock at night. So finally I was just like, all right, tomorrow we will run our asses down to Dollar General. Again, you guys, we live in the middle of nowhere. So to go anywhere to any store, like the closest store is Dollar General or the corner store. Corner store is like this little mom and pop shop. But the dollar store is still 20 minutes away from our house. So I was not about to go there this late at night. Plus, it was probably closing or something. Anyway, it was too late. Next day comes and we go to Dollar General. That's like literally the first place that we go. I go to Dollar General and there is one digital pregnancy test on the shelf. I got the test. It said pregnant. And even then my husband was like, oh my God, like you did it. You fucking did it. Like we did it. And we were just so happy for like 5-10 minutes. I was crying. He was really happy. And then all of a sudden we both got like really quiet. I don't even know how to explain it, but I could tell that we were both really in our heads. Like that's when your mind starts racing and you're just like, oh my God, I'm fucking pregnant. Like, I hope this baby is healthy. Have I been doing everything correctly up until this point? Like, I know 4 weeks is really not that long, but I mean, you just don't know. As a first time pregnant woman, I didn't know anything about being pregnant at all. Like, I knew the gist of it, but not literally everything that pertains to being pregnant, if that makes sense. Literally the same week, we had gone in to get tested for infertility treatment. Like, my husband had his little sample test of his little men, and we gave that to them, and we were actually waiting for our results. So I went ahead and called them, and I was like, look, I got a positive pregnancy test. Like, I need to know, what is the next step? What do I need to do? And they were like, oh, okay, so have you been to this clinic before? And I was like, yes. So after talking to the lady, at this point, I was like 4.5 weeks pregnant, I guess. Like, I did the calculator and everything, found out my due date, all that stuff. So I told her like when my last period was, when my last period was and everything. And I was expecting, okay, in a couple weeks, they're going to do an ultrasound to make sure that I was like positive, like, or do a positive pregnancy test, like through the blood test and all that. It's July. It was like July 10th or 11th that I found out. And she's like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and schedule you for the end of August. And I was like, what? Like, seriously? Almost 2 months out? Like, are you kidding me? I was just so, like, not mad, but like really disappointed, because I was like, wow, that's a really long time from now. It's almost 2 months from today, you know, when I made the appointment. I didn't ask any questions on the phone because I'm one of those people who I like to get on the phone and get off the phone. I don't like speaking on the phone at all if I don't have to. And so I wasn't going to sit there and ask all these questions. I was just like, okay, I'll take that appointment, whatever. And it wasn't even with the doctor. It was like the OB's nurse or something like that. I tell my husband, and he's like, August? He's like, why August? And I was like, I have no idea. It is so far out, and I don't know why. I don't know what to do. Like, is there any other way we can get like an ultrasound earlier? And there was just really no way to get one at the actual clinic. But then I was talking to one of our family friends, and she's like, oh, I have been doing some like searching online to see if we could get you like an ultrasound. Because everybody around this area was super excited that I had gotten pregnant, because everybody knew that my husband and I were trying for some time. And so she was like, I was doing some surfing on the internet, and she's like, I came across this place called Love My Bump. You can go in anytime to get an ultrasound, or to hear the heartbeat, or to do a gender like confirmation, and to see your baby's like face 3D, 4D. And I was like, what? She was like, I really, really want to gift you guys your first ultrasound. So I was like, wait a second, there's a place that I can go to and they will do an ultrasound for me. I mean, of course you have to pay out of pocket, but my husband and I didn't care at that point. Like, we just wanted to make sure that this baby had a heartbeat and this baby was real. Like, it was an actual positive. I'm actually carrying a bean. I was 9 weeks, like exactly 9 weeks. And I had already read up until this point, like, when does the heart actually start beating? Like, when can you actually tell that there is a little bean growing inside of you? All that stuff. And everything said around 8 weeks is when the baby's heart should be like actually visible, and you should be able to hear it. We went in, and it was so fucking surreal. The heartbeat was like the first thing that we heard. We didn't even see like actual like bean or anything. It was first like the heartbeat, and then all of a sudden this little round thing popped up on the screen, and I was like, is that a baby? Like, is that little round bean thing like a baby? It looks like a fucking potato with like nubs on it. And I was just like, what? Like, that, it's real. Like, that is in my stomach. Like, that is in my uterus. It's growing. It's real. Hopefully you guys can see, but it literally looks like a fucking potato. At this point, I was already having symptoms, you guys, and that's what I'm about to get into. Like, this is just how we found out that we were pregnant. A lot of expectant mothers do not feel pregnancy symptoms until around 6 weeks, or so I have read, you guys. This is all based off of things that I've read, because I'm not anybody else. I don't know when their symptoms and stuff started. But also talking with some of my friends that have been pregnant and have had children. A lot of them either had symptoms around 6-7 weeks or no symptoms at all. A week after we found out, all hell broke loose. I was so fucking miserable. I was so nauseous and just headaches, but mostly nausea. When they tell you that you get morning sickness, you're just like, oh yeah, I'll be nauseous, but it's nothing I can't handle. Bitch, it is not for the faint-hearted, okay? I am someone who is used to having like migraines and constant, like some kind of constant pain. I, for a long time, thought I had like chronic nausea, which I'm pretty sure I did, but nothing, absolutely nothing compares to pregnancy nausea. It was so fucking bad that I would throw up every other day. Now, granted, you guys, that is me with morning sickness, and that's not even how bad it can get. There are women out there who have HG, which is hyperemesis gravidis, something like that. I'll put the word here on the screen because I just really can't pronounce it. But that is where they literally throw up several times a day, every single day. Like, I cannot fathom having that, because what I had was every other day throwing up. The nausea was every single day, morning through night. It didn't matter what time of day. I did not leave this house until I had to go to my appointment in August, because that is how fucking miserable I was. I am today 18 weeks in 6 days. Tomorrow I will be 19 weeks. And I am still fucking nauseous every single day. So I'm still going through it. Like, I'm still suffering the morning sickness. When people say it's morning sickness, I don't know who came up with that name, because it does not just happen in the mornings, you guys. Sometimes it's in the evenings. Actually, for a while there, when I first entered my second trimester and up until like last week, I was having morning sickness at 9 o'clock at night on the dot every single day. And even now, I'm still throwing up every other day. It's fucking miserable. I hate it. I cannot stand it. I am one of those people I'm like, give me a headache, give me a migraine, give me the ligament pains, give me the breast tenderness, whatever. But please just like stop the fucking nausea. Like, I am just hoping that it goes away soon, because I cannot function like this any longer. It is just, it sucks. It sucks really, really bad. So I went ahead and did my lashes, because I can't do that while talking anyway, but I have to take my anti-nausea meds. I'm actually on 2 different kinds of nausea meds, when most women can get by with like 1 or none. And so it has just been extremely rough for your girl here. I am at this point just waiting for the morning sickness to subside. I was so happy, you guys, when I was like looking at my pregnancy tracker. It splits it up into 3 trimesters. And when I got to that 1/3 mark, I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for getting me through the first trimester. Now we're in the second trimester. I can finally feel like myself again, because everything I was reading online in the books, the pregnancy forums, they were all like, oh, your second trimester, you're going to get all this energy. Your skin's going to start clearing up. Your morning sickness is going to go away. The only thing you're going to have to worry about is round ligament pain and some breast tenderness, but you're going to be able to get up and go like you used to before you were pregnant. Yeah, I don't know where the fuck any of that shit is, because your girl is still struggling, and we are almost halfway there. The 20-week mark, so basically 1 day and 1 week, will be 20 weeks for me, and that'll be exactly the halfway mark. And I just don't feel or see it letting up anytime soon. And so I have just been really on the struggle bus here. But I really just wanted to sit down with you guys and tell you why I have not been filming. And it's because of the morning sickness. I literally didn't even have the strength to get out of bed for the first 3 months of this process. Even now, I leave the house only when we like really need to, or my husband needs me to go somewhere with him to pick like house building stuff. And so today, I actually need to go to the grocery store and stop by a couple of places, and my husband needs to go to Lowe's for some house stuff. And so my husband's like, you know, do you want to come with? And at this point, whenever I do feel good, I want to leave the house, because I haven't left the house in months. And the only time I did leave was for my appointments. I will be trying to post every time I feel decent, like I do today, like functionable and reasonable. And I will try to get into a routine with you guys again, but I don't know the next time I'm going to be able to film and, you know, upload a video, because it's been really rough, you guys. It's been really rough. So I have to take it day by day. Before I go, please tell me, how are you guys doing? What have you guys been up to? Like, what has been going on in your life the last 3 or 4 months? I really appreciate if you have stuck around. I feel like this isn't my longest break, I don't think. I think my longest break was like for half a year, but I really really want to know how you guys are doing, because your girl here is still kicking, but she is miserable as fuck. So just let me know how you guys are doing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Everything I used on my face will be listed in the description box below if you guys are interested. I also have so much new makeup that has just been sitting there forever because, again, I haven't felt like actually putting on makeup either for the last couple of months. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit a thumbs up and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe, as well as that bell notification so you know when I upload my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, or comments, leave them all in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.